A few weeks ago on the show, you may remember, we encountered the Foreman. It's a classic replica, basically kind of recalling the style of the late 60s supercars. If you remember the likes of the Ford GT40 and those beautiful, sexy, swoopy Ferraris. And this car recalls that era very much. And I didn't drive it on the programme then. We thought we'd leave that, tease you a bit, and we're going to drive it today. And that's not something you take lightly. This thing weighs less than 1,000 kilos. It's got 375 brake horsepower from a small block Chevy V8. That's a lot of engine, it's a lot of car. And so starting this thing actually has quite a sense of occasion to it. There's several things to do. Having checked we're in neutral, I don't want to fire myself into the next county. Lift this rocker switch here, flick my ignition to on, put my fuel pump on, and it chocks away. And then we press the best button of all. Listen to this. Even a sound like that, it just... Something that gorgeous cannot possibly be legal. Obviously, it's as direct as you would expect. There's nothing between you and what's going on. The clutch is seriously competition heavy. We've got to push it along to the left, but not too far to the left. We don't want to go into reverse by accident. That would be very, very, very bad. I've got to reach down here. Have to excuse me a moment to get the handbrake off. Don't forget, this isn't a case of somebody saying, oh, it's a bit like a race car and it's on the road. This is a race car on the road. Of course, there's one thing we've forgotten here. Now, I'd like you to tell me any way in which you can have more fun than with this. The noise, the feel, everything about this thing. This really is the real thing. It's absolutely gorgeous. Despite the size, it looks huge. As soon as you get in it, it shrinks around you. It really does shrink to fit, and that has got to be the sign of a seriously well-sorted car. You become instantly aware of where the wheels are, instantly aware of where the centre of gravity is, instantly aware of what's under my right foot, and you better not get carried away. The controls are an absolute delight. Rigid and tense and taut all the time, informing you what's going on. But unbelievably, they're not heavy, which when you consider the amount of power that they're controlling, that's quite an achievement. Well, as always, of course, underneath all the glamour of such a thing, there has to be reality, that things have to be built. This is one of the places where that takes place. The company's about 5 years old. The man behind it is Neil. 5 years, so it's actually quite a fresh venture, really, when you think about it.
Well, I bought my first P4 from the original manufacturer 10 years ago,
yeah.
And I built it as a customer, and we actually took over the project 5 years ago. We spent 2 years redeveloping the thing from the ground up. New chassis, new mould, new geometry. And we took it from there, and 2 years ago we started developing the CanAm and launched that last year, and that's been received very well throughout the world. Boy,
have you ended up with something. But it's engineering as well, I mean, we've spoken before.
That's right. I served an apprenticeship with Marconi building aircraft back in the days of the TSR-2 and the prototype Concorde. I worked on Nimrods, Jaguars. So I served my engineering apprenticeship with the best. And I learnt the trade from there. From then on, I spent some time in entertainment.
I was going to say, because you'll kill me for bringing that in, but it's true, because despite your engineering background, and that shows through, I suppose, in the sincerity, the integrity of the product, the passion of that is reflected in your own career as well, because you were in the entertainment industry, which I don't understand how that transition was made. But.
Well, I started off, as a lot of young people do, in a band, playing pop stuff from the age of 14. That progressed to a comedy show, and I was working in a comedy band for 25 years, mostly doing military stuff and entertaining the troops. And that's where the finance came.
You kind of squirreled away all your cash, and then you come here and build these things.
That's right. Can't be a bad kind of existence. Where do you want to go next with it?
We want to develop the product, and it's never finished. We always look at improving the product, improving the panel fit, the quality, and the end product for the customer. If we can improve it and bring out maybe another model, fine.